What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Darku, and today I'm going to be showing you the new best method to catch alphas in PokeMMO. As per usual with my tutorials, I like to show you every step along the way, so if there is something that you know already and you want to skip to the next step, do not fear, just head to the description and you'll see the timestamps and you can jump to the next phase. One of the first things you'll need for this method then is a Smeargle, and if you don't have one already, the best place for it is near the Battle Frontier in this cave just below us. However, that's not the only place you can get one. If we type in Smeargle on the Pokédex in-game, you'll notice that in the wild locations it has many places a Smeargle can be. If you want to come to this place, however, and you haven't unlocked it, just know that you need to beat the Elite Four in Hoenn and then take the boat from Lily Cove City at the top right there, and the boat can take you to the Battle Frontier, and then you will be here as well. Again, if you've not done the Elite Four here, you're not at the Battle Frontier, you can get a Smeargle from the other places, or you can buy one off of the GTL. One of the first things we're going to do then is obviously get the Smeargle, and we're just going to go across, and there will be a tree here. If this is your very first time being here, there will actually be a Sudowoodo in the way, and you need to use your watering can on it to get rid of it. If you do not have the watering can, there is actually a flower shop south of Rustboro City, and there's a lady in there who will give you the watering can. Once you fought Sudowoodo then, you can just come down into this waterfall and keep going left until you get to the Smeargle Cave. Now it is fair to note that this isn't actually called Smeargle Cave, it's actually called Artisan Cave, but as you can see, our Smeargle has appeared, and what we're going to do is just full swipe it down, maybe give it a Spore, and then just quickly catch it. Bingo, we have our Smeargle, and funny enough, it came out with 31 attack, which is pretty nice to have already off the bat. Now that we've got our Smeargle then, we've actually jumped to the left hand side of Malville City, and the breeding area is here, and obviously we got lucky and got the 31 attack, but we're going to go ahead and try and get some more 31 IVs. Now I have done an ultimate breeding guide which you could look up, and I'll also put in the description if you want to know the full in-depth guide of breeding. However, in short, we're just going to look and see that it's of the egg group of field. We're going to see if the field males are actually cheaper to buy than dittos. Obviously, the more IVs we pad onto this, the more expensive a ditto would be. However, very early on in the IVs, dittos can actually be cheaper than some of the males. So as a quick summary, we actually got quite lucky with a female Smeargle, because a female Smeargle can then breed with any male of its egg group and it will continue the Smeargle line. However, if we got a male Smeargle, we could only breed with a female Smeargle or a ditto, and that was our only options to keep the Smeargle line going. But to show an example of the prices, if we go to advanced search and put 31 HP IVs and we search for a ditto, and we go to the lowest price possible, it is about 5,800, maybe 6k I'd say is an even amount. If we get rid of this and we change this to the egg group of field and we go gender male, you'll see that it's about 4k for the same egg group male to have 31 IVs, and the HP is again only 4k, so it's actually cheaper to get the egg group than it is the ditto. This is not always the case, however, you know, it is nice to see cases like this, so we can buy like a 4000 Centret here and breed that with our female Smeargle, and it'll give us the double stats. Obviously I'll show you a bit more in a second. So just to show then, obviously our female Smeargle has attack, and our male Centret here is the field egg group. It has the 31 HP that we need. However, you don't just breed stuff like that, you actually need to speak to someone like this lady here, and they will have these power bracers, belts, etc, etc. For HP, we're going to need the power weight, so we'll buy one of those, and for the attack, we'll need the power bracer, so we'll buy one of those as well. You can then go in your bag and find said things, and we're just going to put those on the Pokemon. You can drag and drop like I just did there, or you can left click and give it an item through that way. Once done then, we're going to speak to the breeder man just outside, and we're going to put these two in, and as you can see, because they're holding the bracers, they're going to have 31 HP and 31 attack, and it's going to be a Smeargle in the egg, because the female is always the egg. We're going to go ahead and breed this, and we're going to make it a female, so we're going to go yes to this one, and we're going to go female. It's going to cost us an extra 5,000, but that's totally worth it. We're going to keep it a female. Now that we got our Smeargle egg then, as you can see, if you didn't know about the PokeMMO breeding, obviously the Centret and the other Smeargle have been consumed, as PokeMMO consumes the parents when you make the egg. It sounds kind of crazy, but it is part of an amazing sort of breeding system in PokeMMO. One thing to note then, if you look at the gift shop, the donated status that you can buy this with RP by, you know, actually buying RP, or you could use your in-game money and buy RP off of the people who sell it on the GTL, etc. But if you have donated status status, you'll see that has 10% faster air catching as well as we have a Pokemon at the front of our party with the ability of Flame Body, and you'll see at the very top left we've got Flame Body as an active ability out of battle, and it hatches eggs faster as well. So it shouldn't be long and this Smeargle egg should hatch real fast. Alright, we're back and our Smeargle is hatched with the HP of 31 and attack of 31, and obviously like I said before, I want to try and get 31 defense and 31 special defense. Now this can be quite costly if you can't afford the 31s, you can actually get maybe 27s or above, etc. You don't need a perfect Smeargle, but obviously I'm going to be making one for this video.
2 hours later.
So again, now we've got the 5x31 female Smeargle with the wrong nature. We can get the correct nature with a 4x31 male. It's hard to describe really, so what I will do is actually just show you anyway. Go to the advanced search, we're going to go for a field again, a male, and the nature of impish, as that's the one we want. And we're going to type in the stats that we have, like so, and we're going to type in at least 4 of the minimum IV matches. We'll just then search by price, and as you can see there's a C dot here, who again only has 4 of the IVs that we need, and obviously our Smeargle has 5, so what we would do here is put, in this instance specifically, we would put the blue band for the speed on our Smeargle to carry it over, so we keep 5x31, and on the C dot we would keep the impish nature like so we want an Everstone. Once again we're going to put the female Smeargle, which is almost perfect, and the C dot with the impish nature. Again, Everstone, make sure we keep the impish nature, and the blue band here will make sure that we keep the speed. So we will have a Smeargle here with 5x31 and an impish nature. Now we can go ahead and breed this, and for the sake of it I am going to make this one female as well, just in case I ever feel like making it a 6x IV one, and by that I mean 5x31 and 1x0 to make it have the red number. Some people like to min-max like that, usually I do, obviously for this tutorial I didn't do it, but a lot of my PvP mons etc are 5x31 and 1x0. Now we'll just wait for the Smeargle egg to hatch and we will move on to the next step. So there we go, ladies and gents, it's hatched. It is an impish nature, so it's got 10% more defense and 10% less special attack. Once again, the special attack IVs are not good either. We are not going to be using special attack, and in fairness, we're not really going to be using the attack either. What I would absolutely recommend for those people out there who want to make a budget one of these, just go for as much HP, defense, and special defense as possible. Try to get the impish nature as well, or just a nature in general that helps your defense. But honestly, you don't need to do the 5x31, I just did it for the video. You can do a 3x31 or a 3x27 for a super cheap one. Again, HP, defense, special defense is the main things you'll need here. Alright, so we've got our level 1 alpha, which we've just nicknamed. If you don't know how to nickname a Pokemon, on the first page, make sure you click the yellow ticket and you can nickname it to whatever you want. Named it alpha so I know which one it is, as I have quite a few Smeargles and I don't want to get them mixed up. Obviously you can see it's level 1 and we need to get some levels and make sure we get the correct EVs as well. Now it's worth noting that if you actually caught your Smeargle originally at the Battle Frontier in Hoenn, obviously you're able to reach this area and you can sweet scent in the water here to find hordes of Tentacruel who will give you special defense EVs as well as some of the best EXP in the entire game next to a PC. So you can get mad levels here as well as really good special defense EVs. Now you don't have to use the Tentacruel spot next to me, you can use any sort of EV or XP spot that you want. I have a video guide for that as well obviously, but if you're not happy with that, there's also a forum guide in the description which is written out, you can check that as well. Before starting off and mad leveling then and EV training, it is worth noting that Smeargle actually learns Sketch every 10 levels. Obviously level 1, level 11, level 21, 31, etc. So every 10 levels on the 1, it will relearn Sketch by itself, so you don't need to have heart scales to relearn Sketch every time. It can just actually learn it naturally. I probably should have been a bit more clear on what I meant by hordes as well if you've never done this before. As you can see, we've got another Smeargle here. It doesn't need to be Smeargle. It can be something like an Oddish as long as it has the move of Sweet Scent. Usually Oddish or Tropius are the most common to have this sort of thing early game. And obviously if you're in a patch of grass, water, cave, etc. and you use the move of Sweet Scent, you will actually encounter a horde of like 3 to 5 Pokemon depending on where you are. If you're in a super low area, however, Sweet Scent will only call like 1 Pokemon, it won't really do anything. But you can call hordes like this and you can use a massive AoE move. Obviously Tiffany loves using Discharge and getting some good Slowbro kills. So that was one sweet scent. We get mad XP as you can see, and it gives us the 10 EVs per horde. Now we've only got 20 EVs in the defense, and as you can see we are level 19 already, and it's not too high, but we're actually going to start sketching some moves now, and we don't really want it to be a too high level because obviously, like I said, we want to learn sketch naturally rather than wasting money on heart scales. Now there's at least 4 different ways I can think of off the top of my head of how you can sketch with a Smeargle. You could single encounter a Smeargle, attack it with a move, it learns the move and uses it back on you, and then you get your Smeargle to sketch it back. There's also the method of going against a Ditto who transforms into you and uses a move on you. You can switch to your Smeargle and also once again sketch it back. You can also use the method of using a lure, as they can actually have the chance to encounter multiple Pokemon at once rather than just the one, so you would basically have a double battle. However, as someone who has completed PokeMMO, obviously I've done Unova, and we can go back and forth whenever we want. As you can see, we're on Route 3, and this is one of the earliest parts in the game where you see this dark grass, which actually has a chance of a double encounter. Once you do a double encounter, you can actually sketch your own team during that double battle, and that is a great way of sketching moves. To be honest, this is my most preferred method. You don't have to use lures, you don't have to risk dying to your moves being thrown back at you, you just need your 2 Pokemon with you that you want to sketch with. There's a couple of moves we want on the Smeargle, and there's a couple of ways of doing it. We want Batton Pass, Hyper Fang, Substitute, and Spore. So first it's time to show you Spore and Substitute. I think it's important to note as well, we've got our Smeargle that we want to sketch with up the front of our party, and we've got the Breloom in the second of our party, so when it does do the double encounter, they'll be straight away up front. So here we go then, straight into a double battle, and as you can see our Smeargle is coming out and so is our Breloom. On the first turn then, our little Smeargle here is going to go ahead and sketch our Breloom, and our Breloom is going to use Spore on one of the enemies. And one day, come on animations, hurry up, there we go, it fell asleep, and there we go, we're going to go ahead and sketch the Spore from ourselves. There we go, we let their moves finish and it doesn't really matter, and we can actually just run away from this battle. There we go, and you'll see that in our moves we now have just Spore. So again, without wasting heart scales, we just want to reach level 21 and then we'll relearn sketch naturally. Now it may sound pretty crazy, but we're going to go ahead and click on our Breloom or whatever you use to use Substitute. We're going to take the Toxic Orb off. The only reason why it has that is because it actually has the ability of Poison Heal, so if it's poisoned it actually heals back up. But like I said, for now we're going to take that off, and what we're going to do is go in the grass and keep substituting as much as we can to hurt our Breloom as much as possible to the point where it can't substitute anymore. Alright, we're back, and as you can see our Breloom here now has currently 3 HP, and that's from me just spamming Substitute and not healing up obviously against the wild Pokemon. Now we're going to try and find a double battle with our Breloom and our Smeargle once again. Here we go then, a nice little double battle, and we're going to send out our Breloom once again with our Smeargle. Breloom at 3 HP, obviously the only concern here is that we're going to get quick attacked, which we really don't want to happen. But we're going to try and substitute with our Breloom here, which obviously won't work, and we're going to go ahead and sketch it from our Smeargle. There you go, he tries to use substitute but it failed, but it still counts as going off. And then our little Breloom here, our Breloom. There you go, our Smeargle actually sketched it there as you can see, and we've got Spore and Substitute in our move pool, and we're going to run away now. There we go. So now we have the Smeargle with Spore and Substitute. There you go, that's how you basically copy Substitute off of a Pokemon, make it so that it basically cannot substitute because it's too low, but it still counts as the move going off, so the Smeargle can actually sketch it, and as you can see we've got Spore and Substitute, so we're just going to quickly go get some more EVs whilst getting us to level 31, so we can learn another sketch for free. So as you can see our Smeargle here is level 31 and it has sketch again for free. We're going to go ahead now to Global Trade Link, we're going to go for Advanced Search, Has Move, and we're going to look for Super Fang. I apologise earlier as I probably said Hyper Fang as an idiot, but I actually meant Super Fang. We're going to go ahead and search, and then we're going to click on price to find the lowest price. And this Nidoran here, not even 1,200, has the move Super Fang, so we're going to go ahead and buy that and add that to our team for a minute. So here we are then at the double grass again, and we've got our Smeargle and our Nidoran with the Super Fang that we want to sketch. And there's one thing that I want to quickly note down as well, is if we go to our Smeargle stats and look at our base speed of 61, you'll notice that it is way higher than the Nidoran. So we're actually going to sketch before the Nidoran even gets its move off, and in that case we're not even going to sketch a move because it hasn't done anything, so it'll fail. So in my opinion, the best thing to do is make sure you've got the lagging tail item. These are super cheap off the GTL, you probably have one already, but this makes the Pokemon go super slow. We're going to put that on our Smeargle, and no matter what, should actually go last in the double battles. Here we go then. Obviously, like I said, the Smeargle's got the lagging tail, so it should go last, and we're going to go ahead and sketch our Nidoran here, and our Nidoran is going to use Super Fang on one of the Pidovs. And here we go, we're going to go last in this turn, as you'll see, after we get all these defenses down. There we go. Now we've sketched our Nidoran at the very end of that turn, and we can now run away. There we go, we now got Spore, Substitute, Super Fang, and now we just need a Batton pass. So real quick then, what we're going to do is go to the GTL. We are once again going to Advanced Search, and we're going to be looking for Batton pass again. And we'll go for the lowest price possible. And as you can see, there's level 55 Togepis that have a Batton pass. So we're going to go ahead and buy one of those for super cheap. So although it breaks my heart, my shiny Luxray is going to have to go in the box for now. I'm so sorry, Tiff. It is also worth noting that before we go off again, we have got our Smeargle to level 41, so it once again learns Sketch for its final move, and keeps the lagging tail as well. Now if you don't want to level your Smeargle up to every 10th level, like 41, 51, etc, in every Pokemon Center there should be a grey-haired NPC just like this one, who can actually make you relearn your moves for some heart scales. If we take Togepi for example, we can learn like Calm Mind for 2 heart scales here. You can get heart scales from thiefing Love Disc, and you can also just get them off of the GTL from people who have done this for a while and started to sell them. Here we are back at it then, ready to do the double fights, and it looks like we found one immediately. And once again, like I said, we brought the Togepi that we bought off the market for like 1,100, which has the Batton Pass. We've only kept 2 Pokemon with us, so the Batton Pass will fail on purpose, and we are going to try and sketch the Batton Pass from the Togepi. There you go, Batton Pass, it failed, it also got bit, we're getting leered, but that's fine, nothing bad of this will happen. Now I will warn you as well, as this is the last move. There we go, we're going to go ahead and sketch as you can see, and then blammo. That is our alpha thing caught. We've now got 15 PP on Spore, 10 substitutes, 10 Super Fangs, and 40 Batton passes. Now, as I was trying to say, Pidove can actually use the move Taunt, which obviously stops you from using Sketch, which is very annoying. You can also find Purloin in this grass, which can use Fake Out and stop you from using moves as well, which is very annoying. So this grass isn't perfect. Again, I like to come here. If something like that ever happens, you can just go back to the Pokemon Center, quickly heal back up, and come right back again. Usually I don't really have problems, as you saw there, we didn't really have a problem sketching at all there, and we have the moves that we need for the alpha. So our next step then is to level this Smeargle up as high as we can, as well as pump up special defense, defense, and get that 6 HP as well. I would highly advise obviously getting your Smeargle to level 100, however, getting it as high as you can ready for the alpha will be great anyway. If it's like level 80 plus, it should be okay. So here we go then, we're back with Alpha, who is level 99 and a smidge away from level 100 with the impish nature as usual, and we've done the correct EVs with the 252 defense and special defense and 6 HP, as well as have all the IVs we wanted, etc. And don't forget we have Spore, Substitute, Super Fang and Batton Pass. Now an Alpha Yan Mega has just spawned, so I figured I'd show you the method right now. So first off, I want to say that I do have 2 killers by my side. As usual, I have Tiff. If I didn't have Tiff, well, it's an imposter Darku, okay? So I have Tiffany with me, who is my main killer, and I have this Alpha Garchomp as well, who could do some killing. And the first thing we're going to do is actually kill the Alpha to find out what kind of type it is. What by type, I mean actually gender. As you can see, this Alpha Yan Mega here is a male Alpha. Now this will be important in just a moment, but for now we're just going to wipe it out. So now that we've defeated the Alpha Yan Mega, we know that it's male and it'll respawn if we relog in, or if we walk out of the instance and come back, it'll be respawned once again. If you run away from an Alpha, you do get a 2-minute timer. Now we're going to go out of our way to go against the smaller Yanma, which is the swarm around it, to try and find a female one. As luck would have it, this Yanma, the first one we've gone against, is actually female, so we need to capture this one, hence why we've got an extra slot in our party, completely empty. And there we go, we caught the Yanma, paralysed 1 HP using our Breloom, and it is very important that this Yanma is a female, as I said, because the Yan Mega is male. Trust me, this will be important in just a moment. Obviously we don't want to fight it again whilst we're weak with 1 HP and paralysed, so we're going to quickly heal as well. So as I've said previously, we walked out of the instance and we've walked back in, and you can see that the Alpha Yan Mega has respawned. Now it's time to put our plan in action. As you see, this Smeargle here is going to do a lot of work. First things first, then we're going to try and make it sleep with Spore. Whilst it's sleeping, then we're going to hit it with Super Fang to get it to half HP. We're also going to substitute and Spore as much as we can because we want to try and get a sub up at the same time as making Spore. Because it's half HP, sleeping, and we've got our substitute out, we're actually going to use that Batton pass and switch to our Yanma, who is a female, and the substitute will be up front with it. As you can see, it used Psychic, but it used the substitute, so we still have our Yanma full HP against the half HP Yan Mega. We're going to go to our bag, go to our balls, and find the Love Ball. And it is a Pokeball for catching Pokemon that are the opposite gender of your Pokemon. And this can go a max catch rate of 8 times, so it's half HP already, plus an 8 times ball, and we're just going to lob this at the Alpha. And there you go, ladies and gents. This doesn't work 100% of the time. I'm going to disclaim it and just say 99% of the time. Just like most bleach cleaners, okay? But there you have it. First try. We went in there, we spored Hyper Fang, and substituted, then Batton pass to the opposite gender of its own little swarm. Now the perfect thing about this is every time you go to an alpha, they always have a free Pokemon around them, which is part of the swarm. So make sure you kill the alpha to know what it is, male or female, and then catch the opposite gender of them in the small swarm. So there you go, ladies and gents. After the Spinda nerf on the alphas previously, this is my new favourite method to use. Now if you don't have any Love Balls, you can buy them off the GTL, and I imagine after this video they will probably spike in price as well. However, if you're in Johto, you can go to Azalea Town and go to Kurt, who makes the Pokeballs. Go up to him and give him your pink apricots, and he will make the Love Balls for you. Like so, 1 pink apricot can get you 1 Love Ball for 1,350. Once again, don't forget, when you go to the alphas, if you kill it first so you know if it's male or female, and then catch the opposite gender of the swarm, you can have that 8 times catch rate. The Super Fang gets it to half HP to help it. The Spore and the substitute just make sure that the opposite gendered Pokemon that you caught doesn't die. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this helps you catch your future alphas. This does make it a lot more easier, and let's hope the devs don't nerf this method as well. If you have any better hints, tips and tricks, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to pin some of the best stuff. As usual guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I hope this helped. Don't forget I do other PokeMMO guides and videos as well, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya! Yan Mega woke up, that's fine, and used an attack on us, but again, don't worry, we substituted. Ah. It is not fine. For f***'s sake, that's an entire video in the bin. Oh.